Let's take a look back at the Victorian bushfires and the circumstances that led up to the outbreak. Now, the path to this outbreak was not just a day or even a month, really. We had long term drought conditions ongoing across southern Australia all the way through 2025. You look back across the region, you see it in Victoria and in New South Wales, across southern Australia, and even into Western Australia. So, that long term drought helped prime the pump for what came through December and into January. And when you look at December, there was very little rainfall observed across Victoria for the month of December. And then you get into January. And by the time we got through the first week of January, it was starting to become apparent that conditions were going to be susceptible for bushfires to occur. We had a growing concern on the 7th of January for extreme to catastrophic fire danger. We had a quote from our wildfire targeting expert that I thought was interesting. He mentioned this in one of our forecast messages. Friday will be the most challenging day of the forecast. Thunderstorms with little to no chance of rainfall. So, in other words, dry lightning. The thunderstorms are occurring, but the rain doesn't reach the ground, but the lightning strikes do. And then you have those lightning strikes that can start fires. And we saw that. The dry lightning siege on January the 9th across Victoria was one of the most active areas across all of Australia that day. Thousands of lightning strikes were recorded across Victoria, and that started several fires in the region. Now, out of the biggest bushfires, we had more than 600 buildings observed as likely damaged by ICEYE from the 8 most destructive bushfires, and over 450 of them were just from the Longwood fire alone. So it gives you the scale of the fires, and you see them all on the map here across Victoria, not just around Melbourne, but all the way up towards the South Australia border and over to the New South Wales border as well. Now, what's next? We're about halfway over with summer, but conditions are going to remain favorable for bushfire potential as we go through the rest of summer and into autumn. The rainfall outlook from the Bureau of Meteorology shows continued dry conditions across southern Australia. All of the regions that we've been seeing the ongoing drought are likely to continue. Additionally, likely above average temperatures for much of the country are expected as well. So it's going to remain hot, it's going to remain relatively dry, which means we still have that potential for additional bushfire outbreaks.